we have seen up to now various sources of water. A source of water is nothing but it is a place from where we take the water. That is, let's see some examples, that is lakes, reservoirs, or some rivers. Okay, so these are called as sources of water. Now, if we are taking water from, let's say, a reservoir, so there is one reservoir. From here, we are taking some water. So this water which we are taking initially from the reservoir, this we call it as raw water. Okay, so from the source we have taken raw water. Now the next thing to understand is that this raw water contains two things. Okay, we can divide the total raw water into two categories or two things. So what is there in this raw water? So in this raw water there is what we call it as wholesome water. So bear with me with the name right now, wholesome water plus impurities. Okay, now sir, what is this wholesome water? So this wholesome water, it is nothing but it is a chemically impure water, chemically impure water. Okay, but not hazardous, not hazardous to health. Okay, in simple language, if you want to understand, then this wholesome water, it is, we can say it is a water which is chemically not purest. Okay, it is not chemically pure, but whatever the chemicals are present in it, they are present under standard specifications. Okay, or they meet the stated standards. Let's say we are saying that the amount of salt which is present in the water, it should be less than 10 mg per liter. Okay, so that should be the concentration of salt. So we are giving one standard that the amount of salt concentration should be less than 10 mg per liter. So if in water there is 2 mg per liter, then it will be acceptable. Okay, if there is 3, then also it is acceptable. So such kind of water we'll call it as wholesome water. So coming back to the main topic, when we take the water from a resource, that water is called as raw water. That raw water contains two things. First is called as wholesome water, that is a proper pure water we can say, and along with that there are certain impurities which are present. Now what will come in these impurities? In these impurities there are many things that can come. So if you take an example, there may be some bacteria. Okay, along with the bacteria there can be certain solid particles which are present, there can be certain chemicals which are present. So these all are coming under the heading of impurities. Now what is the next step that we have to do to the raw water? The raw water is initially, first it is tested. So we are testing it first, and then we are sending it to the next important unit, that is water treatment plant. Water treatment plant. So this is the next step. Now what will happen in water treatment plant? In this water treatment plant, whatever the impurities are present, okay, we have seen that this raw water contains impurities, so the impurities will be thrown out. Now out of raw water, if we remove all the impurities, what we will get at the end? At the end we will get the water which we call it as wholesome water. So this water we can drink, and this is called as wholesome water. So initially also, when the raw water is taken to the treatment plant, it is tested, and after treatment also there are certain tests that has to be done. Now why this testing is done? This testing is done to find out what is the amount of impurities that are present in it. If the impurities are present under the standard specifications, then no need to do any further treatment on that. Okay, I hope it is clear. So once again we'll revise. So a raw water is taken from the sources. That raw water contains wholesome water and impurities. These impurities we have to remove, and it get removes where? It get removes in the water treatment plant. Now in the next video we will see what are the various types of impurities, their classification, and then each impurity we have to see.